So that might be useful for some people to know exactly just how much effort and time you need to put into these. I'm currently just trying to clean out the threads. They all seem fine so far, but you do get what am I up to? Yeah, this one. You do get the odd one where it's not so much the thread that's a problem, it's the way the closing plate's being put on. You can see there's like a very small piece of metal sticking out there, and what that's doing is stopping the bolt from being able to thread in there. See how it's going in on an angle because of that, it's gripping on that. So all I'm going to do is take a file, try and grind that down a bit, file that down a bit. All these ones up here are really fine. I just use a little bit of oil to help it in. I don't have the right size tap for these, so I'm just going in with the correct bolt just to clean it out a bit. I don't feel like they're going to be in bad shape. It's just with this e-coating, maybe some of the threads received some of that, and it's just a lot easier to do this now rather than when you're underneath the car and you're trying to bolt it together between laying on your back on the floor, the rubber gasket might be in the way and all that other stuff. Also, I'm just going to clean these up as well because they look, I mean, look at the state of that, they don't look great. I might see they are a bigger size, so I might have a tap for that. 10. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to work them through there because they're really bad. And strange thing as well, you get full channel, and that stubby bit under there, you see, it was like an oblong shape. It wasn't even like a circle. And now you look at the lesser piece panels, which are made by, throwing stuff everywhere, Clocker Home, which aren't really known for their parts being great. And this piece is way better. It's like one solid piece, one solid moulding that's rounded off around the top, and it's got spot weld underneath. Whereas the one on this, JP Danks, I think it is, it's just like a horrible piece of metal that's just been folded round. Another thing as well on these, you look at the, like, that's a much nicer piece as opposed to that. It's the same. I mean, we don't have that lip there on here. Oh, that's because that's from the closing plate. But I don't know. There's some things about this piece which I prefer. And if I wanted to spend even longer doing this car, which I don't, I would take these spot welds out, take this closing plate off, deal with everything inside and do the same on the other one, but I don't want to get into that. It's going to take me a lifetime. But yeah, some of the moulding's a little better. Just something that's worth noting. Also, you've got, it's not on this side, you've got on the opposite side where your running board sits along here, you've got M6 threaded bolts in there, so I'll just tap them out as well, clean them up. They were a little bit rough just on the start up, so just things that's going to make it easier. Yeah. I'm going to carry on cleaning this up, getting it to how I want it to be, so hopefully it'll go in the car easily. And this is all the work, the preparation. Like, once it's in place, it's going to take what, maybe 20 minutes max for me to weld it in. So all the works, all the time and effort goes into the prep. So well, you can see, filed it down. Am I in the right one here? Yeah, I think it's this one. Filed it down and you can see how easily it goes in now by hand. That's how I want them all to be. I want to make it as easy as possible, bolting the floor pan to there. channels. I've done all these, I'm just going to continue on along here with the rest. I'm hoping you guys can see this okay. So the threads are pretty messed up in there. I'm going to focus. Pretty chewed up. So I'm going to see if I can clean them out. So this is the bolt. It's not the original one. I'm not sure if I do have the original ones actually. I might try and clean some up, see if they're reusable. So already I've snagged on that one. And there's another one here I should have. No, it must be in the car. So that one didn't go on very far before I got caught up. And that one also. Might be the issue I'm having with the one I've used under that's actually in place on the driver's side of the car. So I'm going to use is, I believe it's an M10 tap. I'm just going to use this to get in there and clean that thread out. I'm not cutting it, but I am going to use some cutting compound to just try and help things along. Just some of this stuff here. Probably more than I need. Okay, so we'll try and get in as straight as possible. Get started. There we go. Right, so we're in. And then these bars here, they're supposed to float about like that, just so you've got a little bit more adjustment and to have things align. I think they were like that originally anyway from the factory, so they're actually inside like a weird cage setup. So yeah, you just see, because I don't have them. The right tools. Select what we've got. So this. It's gone quite easy actually. Doesn't feel too bad. You turn, if it starts getting tight, just back it off. There we go, we're a little bit tight there. And just wind it back. If I could lock that one in place somehow. Actually, do it by hand there a bit. Let's say, imagine if you didn't do this and you welded your channel in place and then you come to bolt it up. Things line up, it's great. Happy days, but you try and get your bolts started, and there's also a rubber gasket runs up here as well. And this end it's a bit messy as well, because you've got one coming from the Napoleon's hat this way, and then one coming from the chassis, this way. So they kind of meet like that, and it gets a little bit messy. That's in there now, nice and easy. So it gets a little bit messy, but trying to line your bolt up and not going in and then having to try and do this underneath the car is just not what you want. So I'm definitely going around as much as I can on these channels that I think is going to be an issue, and just trying to get it all so it goes as easy as possible. You can see There's some metal filings that came off with that. Definitely worth doing. Save yourself a bit of grief in the future. That's probably enough on there. Don't need to go. Oh, a little bit. Normally, if they're already tapped and you're just cleaning up, you don't need to put this cutting compound on. This is just like if you've got a hole that you want to tap, then you want to make sure you use something like this to help it along. And you always want to try and start off by hand as well. Make sure that you're in the thread. You're not going to damage the thread that's there, because you don't want one straight thread and then this one. So it's going by hand, they're not actually too bad. Tighten up a bit there, can't get it now. Everything seems to be magnetic. Like everything. Why? Static, I guess, I don't know. I'm just going to work that in. I feel that's freed up. These are, I think these taps are tapered, so once you get so far with them, you're probably going to be fine. You'll be able to work it by hand all the way. That's what you want, nice and easy like that. Backs out all the way, fine, no problems. And then again, we've got a little, not too bad. The other one was worse. Some filings on there. Let's try the bolt. Yeah, much better. Yeah, I was only able to get so far when I tried it by hand first. And we'll quickly try the other one just to make sure that's alright too. So that's going to be so much easier when you're underneath the car and you want to bolt things in. I've done essentially the same on every thread on the heat channel, and I will do the same on the other heat channel. I've got to take it off the car first, so I've got to undo all the bolts that are already in. So technically the ones underneath should be fine. I haven't done the ones for the running boards. I don't have any running boards, so I can't even check see if they line up, so that's a bit of a thing. But you can also drill holes in running boards. It's just plastic as far as I'm aware. Anyway, I'm going to continue on with this. I'm going to do some metal shaping around here, or cutting stuff off, excess stuff, things like that, so obviously things fit in better. But yeah. So obviously the other heat channel, this one had to come out to have some prep work done like this one did. It's going to need rubbing down again, cleaning off panel wipe before painting and stuff like that. This one's been sat in there for a little while. This piece is very different to the other side. It's an actual circle and it's solid. I don't know what was going on there exactly, but anyway. So it's very important that you fit all your panels so you know how they are going to line up in the car. So that's what I've done here. It's obviously that the distance isn't perfect how it's supposed to be. I haven't took any measurements, but already I can clearly see that's not going to work, and neither is this. So the issue is flat piece there. As you can see, that is hitting on that. Now, this piece is supposed to sit over here. So it's welded to it, but if you can see here, there's quite a bit of excess material. So what I'm going to do is grind that down up to where the spot welds are. I don't want to loosen anything up. And then down here is probably the most critical bit because that's where it's fouling both sides. So if I do that, looks like the spot welds there though. Oh no. Then hopefully that'll allow me to fit these pieces better. So I'm going to get on with that. I'm just clearing away actually because I need to go home for the rest of the day. I'll be back to record some more for this video. But I'm just putting these heater channels out the way for my SIF, and I don't know if anybody remembers, I was recording a video and when I did the repair under the, I can show you, when I did the repair underneath here, the circlip that holds the springs in place popped off and I lost it. I assumed I swept it up. I got a replacement. I assumed I swept it up and threw it out, but this part fell out of the heater channel, so it's been in place while I was doing that repair. And I just came to move this channel, and if you can you see just inside there, so I get to use my new telescopic magnet. So I'm glad about this, came in handy. There's the original clip. Very similar to the one I put on. I thought that was funny.